live stream. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Who's here present? Okay, thank you. So good afternoon and welcome to this talk on our Centennial Time Capsule, or Lockbox as I will be calling it. My name is Maureen Check and I'm a University Archivist here at Misericordia. I want to first wish our sisters and our community a happy early Mercy Day. And thank you all for coming and joining us via live stream. For those of you here, I've been told I need to speak slowly and clearly, so I hope no one will mind that I have notes, because I can also then remember what I have to say. And it's a little intimidating to be telling a group of people about their own history, so I need to make sure I'm correct. The story of Misericordia starts long before its doors opened in 1924. This exhibition explores events that culminated in the placement of a lockbox into the new Mother House's cornerstone on September 24th, 1922. The items contained therein embody the struggles the founding sisters overcame and their hopes for what would become College Misericordia, Luzerne County's first four-year institution of higher education, now Misericordia University. From the 8 women who arrived in Pittsburgh from Carlow, Ireland in 1843, the Religious Sisters of Mercy spread across the United States to found schools, hospitals, orphanages, and other ministries, including to the Wyoming Valley of Pennsylvania in 1875. St. Mary's Convent in Wilkes-Barre was the second Mercy Foundation opened in the Scranton Diocese. It served as a branch house from 1875 until 1878 and became the official mother house of the diocese in 1899. By 1914, the sisters had educated thousands of students from Wilkes-Barre and neighboring towns across the diocese and beyond through their elementary and high schools, conservatory lessons in art and music, and commercial courses for adults. The sisters were so successful, however, that they were outgrowing their space. Several Wilkes-Barre businessmen formed the Sisters of Mercy Mother House Fund Committee with the goal of raising $250,000 for a new mother house. Newspapers reported the cause to be an extremely noble one, as the sisters had been an inspiring force in the city for nearly 40 years. In a solicitation letter, Chairman of the committee, Attorney James L. Morris noted, "This call is for a cause most worthy. The need is most pressing. The time is most opportune." Led by Mother Teresa Walsh, Superior of St. Mary's, the sisters themselves were tasked with raising money as well, visiting each Catholic home in the area. Members of the community who had been students of the sisters also canvassed neighborhoods. An extraordinary and innovative leader, Mother Walsh charted the course and arranged to acquire the land on which Misericordia stands. The group of lay representatives purchased the 99 2/3 acres in Dallas on the sisters' behalf. Title and ownership of the property was transferred to the Sisters of Mercy in December of 1914 on Foundation Day. Bishop of Scranton, Michael Hoban, remarked that, for Mother Walsh, quote, "during this great work, failure was impossible." Mother Walsh's belief in her vision never wavered, though she never saw the new Mother House or College Misericordia. On March 21st, 1920, St. Mary's in Wilkes-Barre was devastated by fire. The only life lost was that of Mother Walsh. Newspaper articles covering her funeral hailed her a martyr. The sisters who knew and loved her often compared her to the order's founder, Catherine McCauley. The property in Dallas was named Villa St. Teresa, so named to honor Mother Walsh's legacy. Walsh Hall and Walsh Auditorium were also named in her honor in 1952. Following the fire, the community rallied around the sisters. The Sisters of Christian Charity at St. Anne's and the Cunninghams of West River Street offered shelter until the convent was rebuilt. St. Mary's was rebuilt by 1921. On June 3rd, 1921, the Feast of the Sacred Heart, after nearly 7 years of setbacks, the dream of Misericordia and the new Mother House was about to be realized. The sisters had faced loss, a pandemic, war, and financial hardships. Sisters of the Immaculate Heart, members of the priesthood, and members of the Mother House Fund Committee joined the Sisters of Mercy at the ceremony led by Bishop Hoban. On July 18, 1922, ground was broken again. A portion of the foundation was erected ahead of time in July to accommodate Bishop Hogan's schedule so that he could bless the cornerstone in September before a trip to Europe. A lockbox was also placed in the cornerstone on September 24th, which contained items of significance to the sisters to commemorate the occasion. This ceremonial shovel was commissioned for the occasion in July. This shovel has been used in every groundbreaking on Misericordia's campus since 1922. Over 100 years later, on July 30th, 2024, the cornerstone lockbox that was placed in the administration building, now Mercy Hall, was removed. Unfortunately, some of the contents were severely damaged and could not be restored. So some items in this exhibit are facsimiles or other representative items for what was on the list of contents. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mercy Heritage Center in Belmont, North Carolina, for helping me with research and providing me with stands. So thank you to Pat Reese and Betsy Johnson. Mercy archivists are a family too. So let's take a look at a few of the items from the lockbox that offer a glimpse into our founding sisters' mindsets over a century ago. Many of the items are devotional in nature, including medals, medallions, and statues meant to invoke God's blessings and protection for the intercessions of the saints depicted. Saints' medals could often be worn as pendants or otherwise carried on one's person, and several of those here have two sides, an obverse, which is the front, and a reverse, which is the back. By including these items in the lockbox, built into the stone and mortar of their new building, the sisters literally embedded their prayers into the foundation of Misericordia. And I just learned, thanks to Sister Noelle Keller, that this tradition is thought to date back to St. Teresa of Avila, who is said to have buried medals of St. Joseph when seeking land for new convents. Catherine Macaulay greatly admired Teresa of Avila, and St. Teresa is Mother Walsh's patron saint. So here we see an unidentified sister left this list of contents of the box and its keys in the care of Misericordia and the Dallas Mother House for over 100 years. The Seven Sorrows of Mary is a popular theme in Christian and Marian art that depict events in the life of Mary. The imagery highlights the great love and mercy of Mary in suffering alongside Christ. The Feast of Sorrows in the liturgical calendar is September 15th, which had been announced by Pope Pius X in 1913. College Misericordia was later dedicated on September 15, 1924. One side of this medal depicts the Sacred Heart, with Christ showing his left hand and the wounds of the crucifixion. In the center is the Sacred Heart, which represents God's boundless love for man and all that Christ suffered for the sins of humanity. Much of the detail is lost, but would show divine light emanating from the heart and elements of the crucifixion, such as the crown of thorns and the cross. The other side of this medal shows the Blessed Virgin with her hands clasped in prayer. There's a small crack in the medal where the Immaculate Heart may have been. This popular devotional medal has its origins in France when in 1830, Mary appeared in a vision to St. Catherine the Lorette. Mary instructed St. Catherine to create this medal, and all who wore it would receive the grace of Our Lady. Also simply known as the Miraculous Medal, the obverse on the left depicts typical imagery associated with the Assumption of Mary. Mary standing upon a globe and crushing the serpent while radiating grace to the world below her. The reverse shows the letter M intersected with a cross surrounded by 12 stars that represent the 12 apostles, above the Sacred Heart of Christ on the left and the Immaculate Heart of Mary on the right. Thanks to the records available at Mercy Heritage Center, I was able to recreate a list of many of the members of the Wolfsbury community. The coronation of the Virgin is another well-known subject of Marian art and subject of devotion. The coronation marks the final episode in the story of Mary, wherein she is crowned Queen of Heaven. Here she is shown on a throne, staff or scepter in her right hand, with the infant Jesus on her lap. In Jesus' hands is an apple, signifying his role as the second Adam in humanity's redemption. This item was a surprise to find in the lockbox, as it was not included on the contents list. Sister Eulalia Harris Karen was one of the original faculty members of College Misericordia. Sister Eulalia had just finished her doctorate at Villanova College, now University, in June 1921. She served as a professor of history, literature, and logic for over 30 years. Sister Eulalia authored one of the definitive histories of the Religious Sisters of Mercy in the United States and published 2 books of poetry. The Sisters of Mercy were extraordinarily well educated, and this locket likely serves as a testament to their pursuit of higher education and guiding mission to share that education with their students. Sister Eulalia was also one of only 2 sisters who had their doctorates when College Misericordia opened, the other being the academic dean, Mother Catherine McGann. Saint Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus, is well known as the patron saint of workers and house hunters. It is therefore understandable that the sisters would ask for his intercession when building their new mother house. Saint Anthony is the patron saint of lost items and souls, as well as a patron of the poor and a teacher. He's depicted here showing holding the Christ child who sits upon a book. The obverse or front of these Saint Benedict medals are perhaps the most difficult to see, so I've included here a graphic representation of what they look like. This medal has 2 sides, the obverse showing Saint Benedict with the cross and his rule, the book, surrounded by the words which translate to, "May we be strengthened by his presence in the hour of our death." The rule of Saint Benedict is a set of principles for living a practical, Christ-like life and provides guidance on the administration of a monastery. The reverse shows the cross of Saint Benedict. He is also associated with opening doors, providing help down difficult paths, and protection against evil. The 1922 peace dollar was minted as part of the United States efforts to commemorate the peace following the end of World War I. The sisters' inclusion of this particular silver dollar reminds us of the hardships they had endured as a community and the hope for the future the new Dallas Mother House represented. The coin depicts a perched bald eagle on the obverse and liberty adorned by a radiant crown on the reverse. The sisters originally included a portrait of Catherine Macaulay to honor their founder and the vision of the Religious Sisters of Mercy. While the portrait in the lockbox did not survive the passage of time, it was likely a replica print similar to this one, as it is an early portrait of Catherine Macaulay. And finally, the statue of the Sacred Heart represents God's boundless love for man and all that Christ suffered for the sins of humanity. Pope Leo XIII established June as the month of the Sacred Heart in 1899. This imagery and symbolism of the Sacred Heart was obviously significant to the Sisters of Mercy at Villa St. Teresa and College Misericordia. Ground was broken on the Feast of the Sacred Heart in 1921. It appears in Misericordia's crest, in use since 1957, and a Sacred Heart statue was chosen for the administration building foyer in the early 1930s, which is now located in Mercy Hall Chapel. To conclude, a centennial is a time for celebration, but also reflection and planning for the future. We have the benefit of time's wisdom. By exploring how we got here, the foundations upon which we stand today, we consider the gifts that must be protected and nurtured after the sacrifices of the sisters. First, we must protect the archives we have. Even this event today is tinged with some sadness. We feel the loss of items once held by our founders. While with time and some luck, we may be able to track down copies of what was lost, they don't reach us with the same sense of hope and wonder. And second, while these items were and are important, we take solace in the fact that the sisters left us more. They left us mercy, the enduring and tangible hope for the future that they built into our foundation. Thank you.